Welcome to B.A.U.S.E Talk Radio, and this is your host, Elena Banks. I am joined today by Miss Cherisa McDonald.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going, Mama.
First of all, y'all don't know, this is a long time friend. We've been knowing each other for some time. And when I tell you, from a boss to another boss, this woman right here know what she's doing. And that's another reason why I brought her back for a second time. This is the first time somebody has came back a second time around.
Really?
Yes. Especially after you see the show today and you guys listen to the show, you're going to know why she came back. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and let's get into what she's got to talk about. If you guys been watching my social media, she's known as a tax expert. Okay? How long have you been doing taxes in the
At least 7 years.
7 years. Okay? And she's good. She's known not only here but in other places. She got several offices. But she has so much important information that she wants to share with you guys. Being that this is in December, you already know what's going to happen December 31st. So y'all got a few days to get y'all life right before January 1st.
Gotta get it right.
So tell me, since the last time you was on the show, has there been any new updates, any new changes for as in the tax laws or how the IRS is going by, anything new?
Everything's changing. They're changing daily, actually. They are switching everything around because, as you guys know, they get hit so bad each tax year. So they put a lot of plays into in the gear this year to try to recoup some of that money. You know, they lost a lot. They lose a lot of money every year.
And that's, you said when they lost a lot of money, that's in tax fraud.
Tax fraud. Okay. Oh my God, yes. So one of the main things, they said statistically this year we're going to receive more audit letters ever in IRS history. They coming for you. I don't care if it's $157. So a lot of people are Instagram entrepreneurs. They need to get their stuff right. You need to make sure you're incorporated, tax ID, you have that business bank account, you refrain from commingling those funds, save those receipts, those invoices. Like you mentioned on the last one, it's time to start bagging up all those receipts right now. They are not playing. They're actually having auditors audit us, prepare the taxes. Like there's teams assigned to us. So they're watching us as we prepare the taxes.
In your office.
What's the word they use now? In the cloud? They're going to be in the cloud.
So basically they're able to tap into your system and see everything you're putting in.
Exactly.
Okay, so now you know we got some of us on here, right? So let's just talk about the things that y'all used to doing and the things that you can no longer do. I know a lot of people that's self-employed, they don't understand that when you say you writing off something, them has to be true write-offs.
True write-offs.
True write-offs.
True write-offs.
And if you got kids, they need to be
your kids.
Your kids.
Or at least if you're taking care of them, proof that they live with you. That's the key. When you take care of somebody, they reside with you at least 6 months out of the year. So you're going to need proof. Medical, school, tuition, those football slips for Pop Warner. You have to prove without a doubt that these are your kids.
And that's 6 months out of year. So you can't claim nobody if they live with you for 2 months.
No, ma'am.
6 months out. Okay, see, I'm learning stuff already. Even though I ain't trying to claim nobody else because I got 2. And what's the maximum amount of dependents that you can claim? Because I know they changed that, right?
Well, you know what? They're changing and they're coming down on the money. They can. Yes, they're coming down on the money. Your first baby, if you're a wage earner, is like $3,500. They may change it a little bit this year. The final figures haven't came. Your second baby is only worth an additional $1,500, and your third baby is only worth an additional $600. So they're pretty much coming down on it.
Is it coming down the price?
The price.
Okay, so what about if you're self-employed? Is those numbers higher or lower?
If you're self-employed, which is a great question because everybody advertise all this money for children, those figures are with W-2s. If you're self-employed, you have to pay self-employment tax. Self-employment tax is roughly $600 a year. So if you're self-employed, just subtract $600 from the 2 kids is $5,000. So you probably get 5 minus 6? 4,500.
4,400.
Exactly.
Wow. So they take your self-employment tax off the rip.
Off the top, yes ma'am. IRS want their money. They want their money.
Okay. So I have then the deadline, I guess everybody's. Do you have people waiting till the deadline to file?
Girl, what? There's people still filing.
But I want to know about the people that's filing January 1st.
January
They
1st.
taking their last paychecks?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
We take
okay.
last paychecks. What it is that the IRS get their largest rush in January. So they call it getting in line, getting in sync. You just want to get it in because they pay accordingly. Not first come, first serve, but they try to hurry up and get it in and be in the first batch because the IRS pushed it back. They're not going to start dropping money this year until February 15th. They need a little bit more time to chase the fraud and break it down a little bit.
So it was people using their last paychecks to going in, filing their taxes on January 1st and getting checks on January 20th.
Used to.
She said used to. Now I'm just making them dates up. I don't know.
That's pretty clear.
Oh wow.
It's pretty clear. They give us the green light. Like you can put them in queue. And the IRS is going to drop it. You know the feds are really secretive. And they'll say, okay, January 20th, green light. Then you push submit. And that's when everybody start officially preparing taxes. But you already have them ready, so all you have to do is push the green light.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So you take, people still can come to you with a.
Yes, ma'am. You know what else I have this year? Because they're paying late, I have $1,000 cash advance. Because the IRS are going to push their refund day back, they allowed us to give up to $1,000 cash advance for those who really, really, really need the money.
So how can they prove that they really, really need the money?
Good question. Repeat filer, same job, same kids, same address. You can't be a new filer and come in and file your taxes and expect them to give $1,000 because they don't know what's up with you. But if you work for Southwest Airlines for the last 5 years claiming the same kids and the same mortgage, they'll give you $1,000 cash advance.
So basically, the moral of that story is the people that they know is safe.
Yes.
Same name, address, same kids, same job.
Yes.
Now, ain't no fraud going on there unless you've been frauding for 4 or 5 years.
Exactly.
You've been there and got caught. So therefore, it's safe to give them $1,000 because they're not a risk.
Exactly.
Okay, that's wonderful. And you get that $1,000 as soon as you file that day, or
as soon as you file, the IRS say give us 24 hours. But you know that first week the whole world is filing. So realistically, 48 hours in the beginning. And then they'll okay me for you to come and pick up your check or your debit card. Yep.
Wow.
Yes, and it's that easy. It's really that easy. There's no gimmick. It doesn't no charge to you. The tax preparer is no charge.
No charge.
They get beat up so bad they have to do something.
So let's get back to the audits.
Okay.
Now, if a lot of y'all not understanding what an audit is, it's worse than a divorce.
Yes, Lord.
Okay, so let's just be clear. Most likely, what type of filer will get audited?
Okay, let's just say you self-employed tax people have been claiming that you braid or style hair or consult on the side for the last 3 years, but you do not have an EIN number, you do not have a corporation, your business is not growing. They're like, come on now. The first year, okay, I get it, you're practicing. Year 2, year 3, year 4, you're going to be audited. They're going to ask you for those receipts. So what I suggest is real quick, because you have about, 20 days left? Get your EIN number. Get a corporation. Get the bank account open. It's not a crime to be sloppy with your bookkeeping, but they're going to look at you if you keep claiming you style and write off $50,000 a year and you don't have a bank account or a tax ID or a business license. So hurry up and get that for this year. That's number one. That's number one.
And when you get that bank account, don't use your bank account for personal stuff. Please do not commingle the money. I promise you. Me personally, I have 6 checking accounts. I have a checking account for each thing. It's not that hard. At first, it's kind of hard to kind of keep up with it. But in your mind, you want to just be able to use your statements and know that everything on your statement is accurate and that you ain't got to make a note saying, oh, I forgot I used this. You want to be able to know that this statement is my true track record of my spending. Because one, I hate when I see people pay for stuff with cash. Like, that drives me crazy. I hope you're listening. With paying for shit in cash. Large amounts. I'm not talking about $6 and $7.12. I'm talking about large amounts. Because at the end of the day, when you're doing large amounts, you have no recourse. You have no track record. You may get a receipt, but it was cash. You can't dispute nothing. You can't stop nothing. You can't show, oh, I paid. And it's like, you know, here's say a word against word with cash, it's over.
She's absolutely right.
So just, and for its EIN, it takes 5 minutes, you guys, to get an EIN. It's free. It's free. You can go onto a website and you can print it out right then. The question's not that hard. If you get to a question and you don't know it, click on the little question mark. It explains to you what they're wanting.
IRS.gov. Go to the search bar and put in apply for EIN number. You need to do that right this second if you're one of these sloppy self-employment entrepreneurs.
And while we're talking about EIN numbers, you have to have that to open up a bank account. So I know we're telling you guys to go open up a bank account, but you have to have an EIN number, and it will be in your best interest to have your articles of organization from the Secretary of State. Because if you got around here and you're making business cards and putting your company logo on your t-shirt and on your car and on your Instagram page, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat, but you do not have a registered company with the Secretary of State, anybody can come steal your name.
That's true.
So you're not really in business. You're just acting on behalf of something that don't exist.
Yeah, I need to get it together, you guys. And that's exactly what I'm here to tell you guys. They're not playing this year. They are not playing. And those of you, like the dads who owe child support and think just because you don't file to evade it, they're coming for you. And the penalties are going to double, and they're going to accrue, and they're going to continue to add up. The feds do not go away. Get all your transcripts and go somewhere if you don't come to me and just catch up on your back taxes. You can actually use that as a way to knock your child support down. So if you owe $10,000 and you're getting $3,000 a year, last 3 years, that's the $9,000. It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
So when you're saying the guys that's paying child support,
the guys that owe child support, are avoiding filing taxes.
Oh yes,
because they're gonna.
I'm waiting on you too. I know you ain't listening, but if you're knowing, I want that motherfucker to file some taxes.
File your taxes. Get it out the way. Move forward, people. Let's get our shit together. Like you said, let's get on track. Let's get on track.
Then the penalties are going to come down hard on that.
And they will not die.
But you know what's so hard? Because in this, I know this is going to touch a lot of single parents out there, is that when you do have somebody that's on child support and they owe back child support and they don't file taxes, never, ever, ever in a day, and they constantly getting paid by cash, is it ever just going to come a time when the IRS is going to be like, look, it's been 5 years since you filed taxes. You getting some money some type of way. How are you sustaining? How are you living? Because nobody would give them any check that's tax withholding.
Well, see, that'll work if they don't have a bank account. If they have a bank account, the IRS get wind that they're not filing taxes and they don't have, per se, a job, but they run their money through a bank account, they get to you. I don't care if it take 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, and as broke as we are and as beat up as we're getting, they're going to get to you. You are not going to escape them. That's the point.
That's why
you're not.
People do not like bank accounts.
Well, then some states do jail, suspend your driver's license.
Take your passport.
Take your passport.
I've done that.
I mean, it's not worth it, you guys. Just get this shit together. That's really my point. They're so desperate now they're working with you. Even the student loans. You guys aren't paying your student loans. You don't want to file your taxes.
It's so easy to get your student loan forgiven.
Girl,
Let me just tell y'all this.
Yes.
I have had 3 clients this year that could not buy a house because of student loans. And we all know everybody wants that American dream. Get married, buy a house, white picket fence, have some babies, and that's it. Okay, at the end of the day, we all go to college. You know, parents say go to college, go to college. Some parents are not able to pay for their college, so therefore you have to get student loans. You're not going to always get a grant or a scholarship that you don't have to pay back. So those student loans come in handy. And tuition now, compared to when I went to school, is ridiculous. So therefore, it's going to continue be loans given out. So therefore, if you have student loans, and I know people that are older than me that still have student loans on their credit, there's ways to get student loans forgiven. Stop paying $30 a month, because that shit ain't gonna go nowhere. I mean, paying $30 a month, if, just say for instance your loan amount was $20,000, you can end up probably paying $45 and $50 by paying them little $30, $40 because then you're gonna put it on hold. They're gonna defer it. Why the hell are y'all deferring a student loan where it's only $30 a month?
Just pay it.
Just pay it. Pay lump sums. Y'all getting these tax refund checks. You should be using that to knock off bulks of your student loan. But I tell every one of my clients, look into getting your student loan forgiven. And 2 out of the 3 was able to get it forgiven. And now they're in the process of purchasing their property within the next 30 days.
You need to. Trump is about to take over now. So you need to take advantage of all these programs that Obama helped implement during this term. They're forgiving them. They're taking a third. Everybody's situation is different, but they are working with you. They rather something than nothing. And if you guys start this, I swear you won't regret it. I have one teacher. She's a principal, actually. And she makes a shitload of money. And what she does is she refers a lot of teachers. And she went on a 3-year agreement. And as long as she kept the agreement, they were going to honor a third of what she owed. She owed like over $100,000. She got it down to like $39,000 if she honored this agreement of something stupid like $500 a month. It was kind of high. So every tax year, she just refer everybody in the school district, and she designate that money to taking care of the student loans. So even if you not get creative, come up with a side hustle or something and just knock it out, because it's not going anywhere. It's a federal loan also. Feds will not die, and they are going absolutely nowhere.
No.
Nowhere.
They can find you. Easy can find you. Especially with internet, social media. All these federal agencies are going on social media. People don't understand that. So a lot of people are doing all this, this on Instagram, I'm this, my new business, I'm this, I'm that. They looking at that.
Definitely looking at it.
Because you know one thing that you have to put in a lot of these social media sites, your telephone number. Once you get someone's telephone number, you can track everything that somebody's doing. Now, unless you're smart and you got a system, at some point you're gonna get too tired. You're gonna slip. You're gonna slip, and they're gonna get you.
Slip, and they're gonna wait. And they're not going anywhere.
But who wants to live like that?
Just get your shit together.
Another question that a lot of people want to ask for is self-employment. Are there any changes in regard to the things that you can write off? Because every year it seems like I learned something new that you can write off, or no, you can't write this off. So has there been any changes to that yet? Because it was like I'd be needing to know everything I can write off.
Everything. It's so many write-offs that everybody don't know. For example, going back to the teacher. A lot of times the teachers take their time and they go to Kinko's and print their own papers. They buy their own supplies to try to help, because a lot of things aren't available to them through the school district. They get to write all of this shit off. Their time, the telephone, making the appointment, the paper, you get to write all of that off. Your
cleaners,
dry cleaning, anything that you use to make money, or anything that was a tool and you making money is a write-off.
And see, for me being a real estate agent, and it's a million real estate agents out there, and an entertainer, I have a Schedule C for my real estate.
As you should.
I have a Schedule C for my entertainment, and then I have a Schedule C for my hair business.
As much consulting as you're doing and helping.
And I have about 4 Schedule C's every year. Now that's time consuming, but however, when I do go get my taxes done, I have everything already calculated. My expenses broke down in detail, my profit, and then my loss. But in my expenses, I do write off my cleaners.
Your hair, your makeup.
My hair, I wrote off my makeup.
Your fitness.
Anytime I had to go shopping, which was my wardrobe that I wore on TV or on radio, I wrote that off.
Yes.
I also wrote off anything that was health-wise. Fitness. If I had to go to the dentist, if I had to do this, if I had to do that, I wrote off cell phone. The only thing that you cannot write off and you have to be careful with is car. You can do your mileage.
You can do your mileage.
You can do your mileage. Maintenance of your car. People don't understand that if you have to buy a new set of tires, you can write that off.
Yes.
Okay. A lot of people, but answer this too. Yes. Is it more write-off for people that's married?
See, it all depends on the situation. Are we both married and working? Am I married and I'm a housewife? It all depends on the situation.
Because I always had this question where I know there's certain expenses for people that's self-employed, and then there's certain expenses that you can file if you're married, and then there's a group of expenses that you can file if you own a home.
True. They know that even if you're married and you have a wife, you have to take care of your wife. She has to get the fitness and the hair. You get certain write-offs for having a spouse because it's your job to take care of the spouse. So there are separate write-offs.
Oh, you shouldn't have told me that.
No, really. No, really, yes.
I'm going to have to use that.
Yes.
Every time I need something and the nigga don't want to buy, I'm going to tell him buy because you can write it off. But I'm going to have to change that last name.
Got to change the last name, boo.
Yeah.
Got to change the last name.
Okay.
Yes.
And then the write-offs that you have for owning a home. Of course, you get to write off
Insurance
and
taxes.
your taxes. Ad valorem taxes. You know, that's changing in Georgia.
Oh, that the real estate stuff, yeah.
And then depreciation. A lot of people, for some reason, I received a letter in the mail, and I got to look into this, but they was able to allow me to write off the depreciation of your car. Have you seen it?
No, I'm going to have to check
It's
on
like
that.
I don't know if it's depreciation or a rebate.
They should, because they should. Because if I'm paying $50,000 for a car, when I drive it up, it depreciates. I mean, that should be a write-off. It's a loss.
It is something that I had received, and I got to look into it. And they said it was $3,500 tax write-off if you purchase a car, this type of car, blah blah blah. So I was gonna tell people like
the Tesla. Now you get write-offs for certain cars, and the new plug-in cars? What are they?
Those Nissan.
Energy saving.
Everybody got
you get write-offs for that.
But if you have a Cadillac, then you need to contact your dealership because there is a form that you can get that has a tax deductible allowance on there, which is amazing. So I always question them. Damn, people don't understand that if you work out of your home, there's more Wi-Fi. A lot of people, your supplies. You can write off so many things, but there is a trick though, because you have to use a certain amount of square footage in your property as
You're absolutely right.
office.
You sure you don't do taxes?
Girl, no, but I've been doing them years, girl. I got to know all them holes.
Business use of home is what it's called.
Yes. Now, I don't never try to do it because that's tricky. Do you suggest people
For
do that?
small, just starting out, yes. For the adjusters that work from home or the child support, you know, they outsource and work from home. And believe it or not, when we call in customer service for AT&T and Sprint, they're really answering our calls from home. They outsource everything. So in those cases, yes. But what they have is they have the payroll to go with it. It makes sense. It just has to make sense. You know?
See, that was why I couldn't really do that because I work from home, but I also have an office. So I was like, well, why can't I claim, you know, they're like, well, do you have your desk set up in your bedroom or do you have a designated space?
They want to know the square footage.
They want to know everything. Okay, so that's good to know. So I know we're going over a lot of stuff. So all y'all people that got tax questions, y'all go ahead and get them in now as we're going. So tell me about, now that we kind of got all this into, you know, about the taxes. Tell me what you have going on to assist people with getting their taxes done and to making sure that they're not getting audited.
Okay, well, I like to be proactive, especially, I don't know if it's my older age, it's just get